Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we get connected with our other network, we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to give some basic information for yourself to develop a very clear spiritual foundation with meditation. So when it comes to meditation, it is about our own life and about our own mind, the very mechanism of the life, very mechanism of the mind. So once you understand that, you know what is happening inside you. And once you know that, it will help you to know what is happening in the outside. But most of the time what happens, from childhood we learn to go with this outside world and without looking inside. But as you know, when it comes to the very mechanism of life, the very epicenter is the mind. So the mind depends on intention. And at the same time, for that intention, there are many reasons. One is our previous experience, mental formations, cankers. And other one is the very present moment of the environment. So this both need to be there to experience this conventional world. But our purpose is not just keep maintaining that conventional experience. Our purpose is get out of it. So for that, you have to know the very deeper mechanism of this happening or the life. So when it comes to our life, there are 6 faculties: our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So that six faculties bring the informations and capture the informations and develop it. So when it comes to our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, there are certain different consciousness related to that faculty. So with your eye, there is an eye consciousness. With ear, ear consciousness. But the thing is that when you see something from outside, that your eye faculty get it as information, and whatever that information in your eye consciousness transform to your mind consciousness, and that is where you recognize your moment of experience. But the thing is, what is happening inside your mind is not happening inside you, in your eye consciousness. So what is happening with the eye object is not in your eye consciousness, and what is happening in your eye consciousness not happening in your mind consciousness. So when it comes to that, the object is outside, but when it comes to your eye, there is a different kind of mechanism happens, and that mechanism give informations to your mind, and then in the mind, what you experience is completely different. So with the ear, the same. So you hear in this very moment, you hear the sound. So it is happening somewhere. But your ear has ability to capture. So when it capture here, within your ear, there is something else happen that cannot understand by your mind. So whatever happening in your ear consciousness transform the information to your mind, and that is where your mind recognizes it as something. So what does that mean then? So with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, whatever happens or whatever you experience is not your mind recognize. So whatever your mind imagine may be not happening within your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind faculties. So this each and everything separately happens. But the thing is, out of this happening, we develop some kind of mental formations. And there are 3 things fundamentally. It's called tanha, ditthi, mana. So you have eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. 6 faculties. In that 6 faculties, that each faculty has 3 behaviors. Those are tanha, ditthi, mana. So you think your eye, there are 3 things, tanha, ditthi, mana. With your ear, there are 3 things, tanha, ditthi, mana. Within your nose experience, there are 3 things, tanha, ditthi, mana. Within your tongue experience, there are 3 things, tanha, ditthi, mana. Within your body experience, there are 3 things, tanha, ditthi, mana. Within your mind, there are 3 things, tanha, ditthi, mana. So as you know, that whatever you experience with your eye, you can't experience with your ear. So whatever you experience with the ear, you can't experience with your nose. So that's why there are 6 faculties. So you have to know that 6 faculties separately. But in day-to-day life, we don't think like that way. We just take these all 6 faculties as one, and that is where we bring the self-centered mind, and as I am. So the tanha means with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, separately there are some kind of thirst. That is one word for the tanha, thirst. That's why when you close your eyes, always the eye itself try to look something, ponder into something. Always that your eyes go towards the colors or the pictures. And the ear, always that ear needs some kind of sound. It look for a sound. That is the nature of the thirst. It look for something. The nose always look for some kind of aromas or the smell. Tongue always look for some kind of taste. Even sometimes you go to sleep, some people, while they are sleeping, they keep eating something. And the body always look for the sensation. So this tanha, so this thirst, another thing is the kind of like a craving. So your eye always craving for visible objects. Your ear always craving for the sound objects. Nose always craving for nose object. Tongue always craving for tongue object. Body always craving for this impression. Mind always craving for mental objects or impressions. This is what we call life. This maintaining this cravingness is what called life. And not only that, it's not only cravingness. That is one part of it. And other one is the ditti. So the ditti means view, belief, speculation, opinions. It's a kind of like you have a point of view. So it's always related to me, I am, and at the same time, according that your view, your eye, related to your eye, you have a different kind of view. Related to your ear, you have a different kind of view. Your nose, you have a different kind of view. Tongue, related to that faculty, you have a different kind of view. Body, according to that, you have a different kind of view. Mind, according to that, you have a different kind of view. So when the mind is not in the right view, it always creates some kind of improfitable result. So that's why in the Eightfold Path, it's called right view. Why it is need the right view? Because we always into wrong view. So what is this wrong view? The wrong view means here that one is that there is an experiencer as I am, and other thing is with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So whatever we experience, we take it as an object from the outside. But when it comes to you, that whatever you experience, even within the experiencer, and even with this outside world, that all change, and it not belong to anybody in a deeper level. But sometimes we don't understand it. And we take it very permanently, and we take it very personally. And because of that, out of that understanding, we develop some kind of wrong view. And what you think out of your moment of experience, then you start to follow. That's example, the mirage. So when you see it, it looks like there's water. And if the mind start to believe there is water, you're going to keep follow that. So like that, whatever the mind develop, we start to go behind it. So then the mind develops certain kind of views related to eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. And out of that, again and again, we keep go behind things. So the next one is mana. Mana means conceit, pride, or self-centered mind. And other one is this inside, outside, experiencer and object and subject. And I am superior, I am equal, I am lower than others. So kind of like that always. With the self-centered mind, we compare. So, and at the same time, in the mind, always, with your eye, whatever you see with your eye object, you compare it to yourself. With your ear, the faculty that whatever you experience, you always compare it to you. Within, knowingly, there is a self-centered person. And with the nose, the same. With the tongue, the same. With the body, the same. And because of that, what happens? Again and again, we go behind that what we think. So then how you get out of this? Because this is the process of very conventional life. This is what we call living. How far you can do this? There is no end. Eons by eons, you will keep maintaining your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind faculties. So what is the Nibbana means? Nibbana means you recognizing this, and out of that recognition, you don't allow your mental formations to develop through the experience. So practicing meditation means giving you some kind of wisdom to go into deeper and investigate this process and understand how it come to be as it is. So when it comes to this outside world, if you don't see it, so itself it's not going to tell you something. As example, this cup. So this cup, it's become a cup when we see it. When you see it, it become a cup. So now you can see this cup here, but in your eye, there are some kind of colors happens, mix, and develop that format. In your eye, in this physical eye, there is no cup. On the screen, you see it. So even the screen mean what? And how many gadgetics around this? And even this is not the real time. Sometimes it is a few seconds, maybe late from this place to wherever you watch this. But when you see this, you recognize it as a cup. But that recognition not happen in this physical eye, because in the physical eye, there are certain kind of colors can absorb, And then that color sends the signal to your brain. So in your mind, now you experience the cup. So then apply it to this everything around you. So whatever, because this cup itself cannot tell, hey, I am a cup, look at me. So kind of like that, it cannot tell. This become a cup when we see it. So your moment of experience give the meaning to the world. So you are the one who interpret the world. So the world itself cannot do it. So then when your mind keep telling to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and it going to go towards that, and then, so whatever it is there, it is start to take as informations. So this go like a circle. So if you look around, you are the one who arrange this material things according to the way you want. So that itself your conventional life. Otherwise, there is no something separately happening. So then all these material things based with the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. There's nothing beyond that. There are more some other elements, but basically, fundamentally, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. There is no anything solid, permanent, any material things that you will find in this world. So then, what your physical eye means, these faculties, all these physical things also related to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. There's nothing else. And then when it comes to your mind, that mind also in this physical body, that also related to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So the mind always depending on names and forms. So that whatever the names and forms develop in your mind, so whatever the pictures, whatever the names arise on the top of the name, the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So if you know, this is the mechanism you need to know. This is how you can untangle. So whatever you see or hear, smell, taste, if you recognize it is somewhere else, it is not within you, it is far away from you. And it is not what you experience. And it is not in your eye, it is not in your ear, nose, tongue, body. Even the taste, it is very difficult to analyze, but if you put the food to your tongue, that food itself not going to bring the taste. Your tongue deeply manifests the taste. But you think it is the food. No, it is not the food. Just imagine in case like if you eat something bitter, like a lemon or orange or kind of like something, or bitter lemon, kind of like, then you eat whatever, then maybe you don't feel that. Even though same food that you used to enjoy and another person enjoy, but you can't feel it. And maybe you choose some gummies, and maybe then after that you eat something, you drink something, taste going to become different. But the taste is that it's there, but you can't get it. Because according to the very condition of your tongue, whatever the taste going to change. And not only that, out of that, it's just something there, and your mind recognize deeply something. Oh, I like it. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I love this. This is so good. And everything you compare, matching. and resisting. I hate this. It is not your tongue. It is not your ear. Your ear, it is not your eye. From where your like, dislike come? When you see something, when you hear something, when you taste something, feel something, smell something, from where your like, dislike come? Not from that food or not from that object you experience. It comes from your mind. So then imagine, if you know why that kind of opinion come, because you think there is something. Because of that, that the idea you develop, there is something you like for that idea, that name or form, because you believe, oh, there is this. I like this. I hate that. So, if you know that the outside world is outside, in the very basic level, outside world is outside. And what you experience, not the outside, what you experience is your inside. So if you know that, what happened in the very first level, you don't have that kind of divisions out of experience of faculties. Because whatever you see, out of that seeing, your mind not going to develop any kind of name or form. Why? Because you know that seeing itself cannot do anything if you don't hold it. Whatever you see, what it can do? Can it take you to heaven? Or whatever you see, can it take you to hell? No. Whatever you see, do you think it's going to make you happy or sad? No. So out of that experience, one should believe or hold, I like this, I hate this, that your response going to make you happy or unhappy. So that is a mental mechanism. And one should know that one should release your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, faculties from this tangle. So when whatever you experience, it's going to become neutral. That's the first level. So anymore, you are not going to develop any kind of comparison, any kind of mental formations out of the moment of experience. It's just a moment of experience. Once the mind settles down to that, once the mind becomes clear, from that point, you recognize this outside. Listen this very carefully and try to be with me. So you need some kind of clear mind to understand this. So the outside, this object related to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. That's fundamentally that four fundamental qualities: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And this I, this physical I, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And your mind recognize things manifesting, creating, formatting, using all the object or the names or forms using heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So then what does that mean? Here, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. This I, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness your mind or the brain or your moment of experience, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So there is no inside or outside. There is no object or subject. There is no experience or experiencer. So when it comes to the sound, the same. So the sound means what? Whatever the object made out of the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness fundamentally. So go a little bit deeper. And whatever the sound arises from means it come out of the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So your ear, this physical ear faculty made out of the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And your consciousness arise in your mind and recognize that sound. What does that mean? Heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. There is that all similar, same fundamental qualities. So then there is no inside or outside. There is no experience or experiencer. And now you apply it to all the 6 faculties, the same principle, same formula. So then, let's go a little bit deeper. This earth, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. There is nothing else. So you can divide it to after heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. This is what happened. When the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness come, then the smell, taste, energy, color arise. So like that is how it developed. But fundamentally, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And then take this earth, take your house. Let's go from the house. Take your body head to toes, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. All object around you, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Your house, your place, this temple, everything, this Buddha statue, this everything, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And then go to the village that everywhere around you, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Span that to the state, everything belongs to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And go to this entire world, this earth, this all heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. There is nothing else. And then the sun, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. There is nothing else. The moon, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. All other planets, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Anywhere in this universe, whatever you recognize as an object, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So then you are not separate from the universe. So fundamentally, that emptiness means, the nothing means what? There's no ultimately separated entity or very concrete, solid, independent existence. This all manifestation of creation of heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. But the thing is, when the mind hold it with the personalizing, this is me, with that epicenter, you are capable to create anything around you, as far as you can, as much as you can. But if you go deeper into yourself, to the very bottom, very epicenter of your own moment of experience, there you will recognize there is nothing you can experience beyond heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So if you can come to that, what is the very nature of the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness? The heat depending from the motion, liquidity, hardness. The hardness depend from the heat, liquidity, and the motion. So like that, each and every elements depending from each other, then that means changing. And even the heat means what? The heat means there is no such a thing called heat. because it is a combination of the motion, liquidity, and hardness. That's where the heat comes. And the hardness, motion, liquidity, and the heat. So like that, when it comes to end of this all, there is nothing such a thing called element, heat, motion, liquidity, or the hardness. If you are capable to experience in this very moment, that is another path that you gain the Nibbana. Because once the mind capable to get out of these old tangles and become free from these old separations and become separate from these old divisions, comparison, resistance, creation, imagination, and the itself, we come to the point to be with no mind. Because mind means what? Mind means out of your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, these faculties, with the experience, repetition again and again, and developing the cankers and the mental formations, and out of that mental formation, pumping the pressure to your eye to see, pumping the pressure to your ear to see, pushing the pressure to your nose to smell, pushing the pressure to your tongue to eat, pushing the pressure to your body to gather. That is what. This is what called a struggle. Always. So then it is possible for you to recognize this. And once you experience that, you become free from this all. So the freedom means then what? Freedom means the very first level. So we have to be free from this outside world, of course, that is one thing. This material world and the material objects, it is something that we need to be free from that. That's all, of course. But at the same time, learn to be free from the thirst that you have with your eye faculty, ear faculty, nose faculty, tongue faculty, body faculty, mind faculty. Close your eyes without putting a timer. Just complete with the complete satisfaction to be there. Just completely tune to the silence without having any desire to listen to anything. And like that, work with your faculties, then you will see little by little, you are capable to release you. So first get out of the thirst. Don't keep feeding to yourself. Get out of the thirst. Get out of this cravingness. Go towards objects with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. Settle down. Let it be. Even when it comes to this mind object, and sometimes developing high mental powers, attaining to, jhana, or creating some kind of visualization, so miracle power, that also part of this craziness in one way. Because we like to experience that higher level of mind. We don't want to be free from mind. We want more and more experience mind. But the Nibbana means not experience of mind, completely released from the mind. So the mind means what? Mind means developing this 4 element: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So wherever the mind, there is universe. Wherever the universe, there is the mind. Wherever 4 elements, there will be a world. So then always remember, practicing means what? Practicing means deeply go into this rather than creating something. Just let things to be there. And get out of the thirst, get out of the cravingness, get out of the opinion, get out of this point of view, and get out of the conceit. Not entering into something, get out of it is the skill. So practicing meditation means you give an opportunity yourself to get out of this all from inside. So we are all inside that. We are all inside the thirst. Remember that. You are not outside the thirst. You are inside the thirst. You are inside the cravingness. Like you are inside the plight. When the plight go like this, you feel turbulence. So like that, your thirst is there. When the thirst arises, you can't say no to it. When the cravingness arises, you can't say no to it. When your point of view arises, you can't say no to it. When the conceit arises, you can't say no to it. Why? Because you are the child from that born. So then, get out of it. Get out of that thirst. Get out of that cravingness. How? Develop the awareness. Tranquility state. Keep the awareness knowingly. This all happening in your mind. When the day you are capable to see that anymore, this cravingness, this thirst, this point of view, this conceit, no longer going to become stronger inside you. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say so Pateva. Oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. So all the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So from the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. So when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire this compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha amnihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Maya Dhamma Nudhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Addhaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadhi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.